Been seeing this woman for 2 years, she's 40, I'm 43. She lives long distance, so I fly to go see her as much as I can, 3x a year. We were planning on getting more serious and possibly moving in together later this year. The last time we met, we spent the majority of the time with her 3 kids. It had only been just me and her dating up until then. She struggles financially to make ends meet with 3 kids, so I've always volunteered to pay when going out to eat. As the week progressed, I noticed that she was allowing her kids, the 6 and 9-year-old, to order full-blown adult plates, fully knowing that they would not finish the entire meal. They do not take leftovers home, either. We also later pulled up to a Starbucks and she asked them what they wanted and they all said a large drink. I, of course, paid. They took a few sips from their drink and told her they didn't want it anymore. All of this didn't sit well with me, since I was raised to only order what I would finish and to just not be wasteful with food, especially when going out to eat. I also have 2 girls of my own from a previous relationship, which I raised this way. Once I flew back home, after a few days I told her I was bothered by the fact that she was not being mindful of my money by not setting boundaries with her children and allowing them to just order, knowing that they will likely just waste good food and my money. She got very offended and said she couldn't believe I was bringing up the issue of money and her kids and that I was somehow trying to humiliate her. I told her I apologize if you took offense about your children and the dinner topic. I said it's not an issue about money but rather about my own principles. I realized that I shouldn't be forcing my view of things onto her, and decide on my own if I want to continue being with her without making her feel bad. She went silent for a day and then broke up with me over the phone, saying we were not compatible and some other generic excuse. Since she technically broke up with me, and am now the dumpy, is it better to go no contact, currently on week 3 of that, or should I break North Carolina and make another attempt at a sincere apology? I really do love and miss her, but part of me thinks I'm the R and the other part of me thinks that I am right for bringing up some behaviors that I believe need correcting. Comment 1. Nope. Stay no contact. It was rude of her not to consider your funds and allow them to order what they wanted. She could have said, guys, get a small, or offered to pay. I don't understand no leftovers. That's odd to me. I think you're dodging a bullet and you have nothing to apologize for. You brought it up, which was awesome, as opposed to just keeping it to yourself. Good for you. Now she's dumping you, trying to punish you for saying how you felt, and that's manipulation. She's teaching you to never make attempts to speak your mind or say how you feel. Nope. Red flag. You aren't an asshole at all. Imagine if you moved in together and you had to address something about her kids. Yeah, no. Comment 2. NTA. And stick with the North Carolina. One of the difficulties of a long-distance relationship is how long it takes for 2 people to actually spend enough time together to get out of the honeymoon stage and into the reality stage. You finally got into a bit of the reality stage and ran into a distinct incompatibility. It happens. She recognized it, and so must you. Learn from this and move on. Comment 3. Leave it and move on. You both clearly have different parenting styles, which work for each of you but not the other. This will result in major issues down the line. NTA for feeling like you do about the situation. Seeing her 3 times a year is only a snapshot of how things might be when you live together, and not a good basis to move in with each other. Especially as most of those times were without the kids. That's a big decision to make and feels very uninformed on your part. So basically you had that discussion after 6 meetups. And 1 meeting of her kids. Come on, man, make better choices at your age. A few years ago my husband and I were proud to co-sign for our daughter, 27 female, to help her buy her first house. We were happy to help, and despite not having a lot of money ourselves, we bought her a washer and dryer for her new home. I called to check in with her regularly and see how things were going and if she needed anything. I know she changed jobs mid-year and I wanted to make sure she'd still be okay financially. She assured me she was good and everything was fine. We started noticing inconsistencies around Christmas when our credit score took a hit due to 2 late payments on her house. Our daughter told us it was a mix-up with the bank since a new bank took over her mortgage and she would sort it out. A few months later it still had not been corrected, so I called our daughter again. Something seemed off, so I called the bank since my name was on the loan and found out my daughter was 6 months behind on the mortgage. When confronted, she said the new job wasn't working out, so she quit back in December and hadn't been able to find a new job. I thought this was strange since we taught her not to quit a job until you have a new one in place to be responsible. I also asked her why she hadn't come to us and she said she was embarrassed. We gave her some leads on new jobs because we couldn't afford to pay the full amount she owed on the house at this point, and suggested she get a roommate, and if she could get those things done we would see what we could do. It was a couple of months before she found a job. I don't think she even looked into the leads we gave her, but still had no roommate to help with the bills. At this point we found out from her grandfather that she had taken a large sum of money from him during that first year, over 20k, and had just asked him for more, but he said he was sorry and he didn't have more to give. We still have no idea what she did with any of the money, and she never told us about this. Our daughter continued lying to us about paying the bills and has not done anything to help herself or save her home. The mortgage company said they sent her documents for a hardship extension, which she never returned. We finally made the decision to not take money out of our retirement, which was our only option since our credit scores were now in the toilet because of this, and we can't get a loan to save the house. This was not an easy decision to make, but we made it mostly because she had not tried to help herself at all and lied to us over and over again for more than a year. We told her she could come stay with us until she could get back on her feet. She not only declined but stopped talking to us not long after. This was not an easy decision, but if we had saved her house we likely would have lost our own. Comment 1. NTA. Your daughter is an adult. If she needed help, she should have been honest with you, which she should have been from the start, since you were affected by this because of the cosign. Instead, she has been dodgy and outright lied to you about her situation, besides the fact that she has not taken the actions she could take to help herself. There comes a point where you need to let her face the consequences of her own actions. Comment 2. NTA. Like some others, I think it sounds like your daughter might be dealing with a mental health or substance use issue, or both. She could have been fired because of the effect it was having on her work. And she might very well be in a shame spiral. I think the best thing you can do right now is make sure she knows you love her unconditionally and want her to be safe and healthy. That doesn't mean you just give her money, definitely don't do that, but make sure she knows she isn't alone and that you are there to help. Comment 3. Your daughter has misled and lied to you repeatedly. There's no guarantee that she is telling you the truth about her work and her money management now. I would be prepared to give her a room in your home if she needs one, but not another dime until she pays her grandfather back. Also inform her that she has used her one-time coupon for financial assistance with her parents. There will be no more cosigns or parental loans. It's hard to see our kids struggle and cope with the consequences of their poor decisions, but some people only learn through personal experience. NTA. I, 22F, have been saving my baby items from when I was young. This ranges from clothing, blankets, bibs, bottles, decor, crib bedding, and other miscellaneous items. I had it all in boxes in my closet, some decor I had displayed in my room. I have sentimental attachment to it and want to pass it down to my children in hopes of it being a family heirloom one day. My sister, 26F, had her first child, my niece. I love my sister and her little family. I adore and love my niece, and I've gotten a few baby items or toys for her as well. When I returned home from university, I noticed that the decor I had displayed was gone. I asked my mom about it and she said my sister saw the decor and she told her to take it. I told her that I was saving it for my future children and my mom just denied that it was valuable to me. Regardless, I didn't want to argue with her about it. I went back to my room and saw that all of my boxes were gone as well. I called my sister to confirm, and yes, she had taken everything. I tried to be reasonable and I told her, I'd like everything back once you're done with it. My sister got very angry at me, saying that it was hers now and she plans to use it for her other children, and then pass it down. I told her that this was all my baby stuff and if she wanted heirlooms, she should have saved her own baby items. Her argument was that she never planned on having children, so she didn't save anything. Mom gave her the stuff, so now it's hers, and that I should just deal with it because if it was so important, why didn't you take it with you to college? At this point, I felt like I was arguing with a brick wall. I demanded my stuff back immediately and said I'd go over to her house and get it back myself. I tried to be nice and let her use it until my niece grew out of it, but she just doesn't want to give it back at all. She told my mom, and my mom yelled at me saying that technically, all of my baby items are my mom's possessions since she purchased them, thus my mom has every right to give to whoever she pleases. My mom and sister also claim that I'm lying about these items being valuable to me and in just saying that to be rude. Mom, sister, and Bill say I'm in the wrong. My dad isn't getting into it, my other siblings are minors, below 10 years old, so I'm not taking their opinions seriously. Basically the entire family is against me and I don't know what to do. I do know that my sister isn't well off, but I did offer her to keep the items for now, but that wasn't enough for her. Comment 1, NTA. No clue what makes sis think she's entitled to all the items. But I'm kind of confused. If you're talking about things you used when you were a baby, your parents must have saved them originally at least. But obviously saving the items in boxes in your closet warranted a discussion with you in the very least rather than blindsiding they weren't there. OP comment. I should have clarified this. My mom saved both of our things, as well as my younger siblings, and we both had them in our closets. When she moved out, she was sorting through things and decided she didn't need them. Her reasoning being she didn't plan on having children. So she decided to donate them all. She was maybe 23 or 24 when she moved out, so it wasn't that long ago, and emo, she was grown enough to see the impact of that. We have a younger sister and she didn't take her things, 1. Because my mom didn't let her, and 2. Because my things are closer to the time my sister was born in and she wanted more older style items rather than modern. Comment 2. NTA, they stole from you, plain and simple. I don't know the likelihood of you getting your belongings back. You could try asking an officer to go to your sister's to collect them, but without proof it's yours, it's very he said/she said, and your mom might back your sister up. At which point I'd wash my hands of all of them. I, F33, just had my birthday last week. The only problem is that no one in my family remembered. My maternal grandfather passed away about a month ago and my entire family, mom, dad, and 2 younger brothers, flew back to my mother's home country for the funeral. I, unfortunately, could not go as I've only recently started a new job. I wasn't particularly close to my grandfather, so I wasn't too upset about staying behind. My family was gone for a total of 22 days and we FaceTimed and stayed in constant communication during their trip. I think it's great that my mom got to reconnect with family and that my brothers got a chance to meet everyone. They got back last Wednesday and have been readjusting due to jet lag since then, understandably. My birthday was last Friday, 2 days after they got back. TBH, I wasn't expecting more than birthday wishes from everyone, but the day passed without a word from anyone. Was I annoyed? Sure. But I wasn't too upset. I'm not the biggest birthday person. I ended up having a nice birthday dinner with my boyfriend and a few friends. All hell broke loose Saturday afternoon when I got a really angry phone call from my dad. I guess my boyfriend did a special IG post for me and my brothers saw it and showed my parents. I had no idea he did this as he isn't a big poster. Anyway, I could hear my mom crying in the background while my dad laid into me saying that they were sorry they forgot, but not saying anything and then posting about it online was passive-aggressive and mean. I told him that I wasn't upset and that I didn't think a 33rd birthday was that big a deal anyway. He said a few more things before abruptly ending the call. I didn't hear from my family the rest of the weekend. Today, Monday, I woke up to a bunch of notifications. I guess my mom did a Facebook post talking about ungrateful kids and how I ruined their surprise party for me and tagged me. My extended family seemed to agree that I was a jerk. I've tried calling my mom, but she didn't answer, so I posted my own reply and said you guys forgot and no one wished me a happy birthday unless you count dad calling and yelling at me. Both of my parents have been calling all morning, but I don't want to take their calls yet. Comment 1. NTA. It's unfortunate but understandable that they may have forgotten given having to deal with your grandfather's passing, though you'd have every right to feel upset about them forgetting too. But boy, are they off for trying to play the victim for their mistake and get everyone to blame you. If the truth of what they did shames them, they only have themselves to blame. You didn't call them out, you defended yourself from their lies and manipulations. Good for you and happy belated birthday. Comment 2. Your family's behavior seems irrational, and that concerns me. Your father, one of the people who forgot your birthday, called and yelled at you for celebrating your own birthday, and allowing somebody to post about it. Neither you nor your boyfriend did anything wrong. Your mother followed up by blaming you were spoiling your own surprise birthday party. How exactly did you spoil the surprise party? You didn't know about it, and you didn't talk about it. I literally have no idea how the person whose birthday is being celebrated can spoil their own surprise party. Your family's behavior defies logic. Have your parents behaved irrationally in the past? Is it possible that they had been drinking, or used some other substance that caused their behavior? NTA.